Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, Alexa or Hey Google, play the podcast called Corvette Today, and you're connected. Also, visit the Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteTodayPodcast.com. And while you're there, make sure you visit the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And don't forget, join the Corvette Today Facebook group. We have over 3,800 members, and I'd love to have you as a member as well. And don't forget about the YouTube channel now for Corvette Today. See all your favorite Corvette Today podcasts now on YouTube. First, I'd like to thank our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 unique design styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvette. It's an awesome value starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And now use the new promo code CT111, that's CT111, and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, with the new promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of fellow Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. Also, a shout out to CanadianCorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette owners from around the world. It's time to get the latest Corvette news and headlines with my pal Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. Keith is here twice per month, every other week, to keep you up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back. How's it going?
Oh, very glad to be back, Steve. Doing well. There's no news, but there's lots of news. And of course, we're still all waiting on pricing, which is the biggest question mark out there for the Z06. But we're persevering. We're pushing through. Hopefully, patience will maintain itself, and then we'll get something this week. We really are starting to run out of time in terms of when we'll get this pricing information, get the order guide, let the dealers know their initial allocations, when the start of ordering will be, and then, of course, the start of production. It seems like it's moving forward. We're hearing some good things behind the scenes, which we'll talk about in a second. So I'd say things are pretty good.
Well, that's good. Like you said, patience is a virtue, and I'm just sitting over here being patient. That's all I'm doing. I hope that we do get some pricing at least this week or next week.
We really need to get on that because the clock is ticking. We're still looking at summer availability, which is probably production starting up sometime in September. Like we did last time, we backtracked it. You've got about 6 to 8 weeks to really get everything set up and go. It's important for the manufacturing of the car, too, because those initial orders will set the baseline take rates for a lot of these options. And for example, the Z06, you've got to know how many carbon fiber wheels are going to be made, right?
Right.
You got to know how many are ordered. This is going to be this whole game played with the suppliers again once we get the initial take rates in and stuff. But let's get to the news and we'll get to that stuff.
Sounds good. Let's get an update on production at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Well, they were closed last week for Independence Day. Normally, they take a summer shutdown. It's in the UAW contract. It was actually only 4 days in our case because the 4th was a federal holiday on the Monday. When they return, we're looking at VIN number 4583 will be the one that comes off first once they return to work. We should see over 5,000 VINs for the 2023 model year produced during the week as well. I'm really hoping that with that week off, we're still able to get some parts in. And so that at least as we ramp back up here and start up production this week, that it's running smoothly. We're getting good car counts through the production cycle. The big question is, we got July ordering coming up. Big question will be the 70th anniversary wheels and just how much more mag ride is being affected. I think we're getting out of those woods. Hopefully the 70th anniversary wheels will be off a constraint and we can get back to seeing these 70th anniversaries on the road.
That would be nice. Also, some other good news. We had Chevrolet delivering 8,630 Corvettes in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was a very good number. It's an 8.3% increase in deliveries over the second quarter of 2021. We saw 7971 Corvettes last year sold. So it's all just around these shutdowns and these supply chain issues of why we can't get to 10,000. We take off that week, we take off a few days here and there, and then we're doing car counts like in the 83s, 85s. If we could get to that 10,000, that's 40,000 a year. And boy, there'd be a whole lot of happy customers doing that, wouldn't that?
Absolutely.
For the calendar year to date, we've seen 17,441 new Corvettes delivered, and that's running almost 20% ahead of last year. That is very good news, I would say. Last year at this time, only 14,500 cars had been delivered. So we're at 17,441, so another 3,000 cars. We're very lucky as Corvette owners. In the second quarter news release, GM announced that they have 95,000 vehicles manufactured without certain components. They can't deliver those cars. They have to wait until they have those components in the cars before they can be delivered, and then that can be counted as a delivered car, which is a sold car for the manufacturers. We're very lucky. We had some park assist and, of course, the mag ride, which is just on constraint, but they're not building our cars and then parking them for 3 months and saying we're just waiting on parts. I think we have been very well protected in that regard.
Very true. And this is ironic. Chevrolet said that they delivered more Corvettes than Camaros in 2022 so far.
Yeah, well, we gave you the year-to-date number for Corvettes. That was the 17,441. Only 11,255 Camaros have been sold during that same time period. So the Camaro is running behind certain products from Ford and Dodge these days. There have been not too many updates to the car over the last few years anyway. And the rumor is that it might end after the 2024 model year, but could come back later on as an EV. It's interesting. The Camaros, I think they start around 30, 32. For Corvette to be outselling those cars, it just says something about the demand for the Corvette.
Absolutely. And at double the price, that bodes well for Corvette, that's for sure. Also, Chevrolet has refiled the trademark for the Zora name, which I thought was great.
Yeah, this is actually the third time. I believe that federal trademarks, when you're reserving a name for future use, you have to do it every 5 years to protect it.
Right.
If you start producing it, then you get your longer protections. But as a future product, you only get a certain amount of time. It was actually registered the first time in 2014, and then again in 2018. It was the second time that we saw it registered. What's interesting is I went back and looked at this. The 2014 trademark was actually an assignment, which means that General Motors probably bought the name from somebody else that was assigned to them in 2014. And that's obviously how long they've been thinking about possibly naming a Corvette model after Zora Duntov, the first chief engineer for Corvette, going back to 2014. And again, the Zora could be that top-of-the-line C8 model. It would be rumored to be a twin-turbo 5.5 liter with the electric drive motors on the front wheels, and it would see horsepower in excess of 1,000 and maybe upwards of 1,200 horsepower.
That'll be a monster, buddy. That'll be a beast. That's for sure.
It'd be a great way to close out the C8 generation with really a huge nod to Zora Duntov, who wanted to take the car mid-engine as far back, I think, as 56 or 57.
Yeah.
It was on his mind a long time, and he was trying to do it all the way through his time at General Motors. And even when he retired, he was still pushing the current chief engineers to do it. A great little tribute for a great man.
Absolutely right. Also, GM had filed another trademark for GM Restoration. What's that supposed to be?
Yeah, now this is a little bit more interesting, especially for classic car owners, classic Corvette owners. Not really sure what this is about. This looks to be maybe a lineup of branded GM restoration parts, some old OEM parts that are rebranded.
Okay.
Maybe they start remaking some old parts under the restoration name. Porsche's got a classic factory restoration facility down in Atlanta. So maybe it's something like that, where you have a group of very experienced classic car rebuilders, and you could take your classic GM car, and they're not just Corvettes, but it could be a classic Cadillac, a Chevy, a Buick, it could be whatever. They would actually do the restoration work for you. We're going to be watching that one a little bit closer. I'm guessing probably it's more parts related at this point, but you never know what they've got in mind.
Well, I like your idea, though, having a restoration place for people to go to have their classic Chevrolet refurbished or restoration done. I think that'd be a fantastic idea. Also, buddy, we've got a good news and a bad news thing. Let's cover the bad news first. Corvette fell from 5th to 11th on the Cars.com American Made Index. So what's going on with that?
Yeah, so there's two of these studies out there. There's the Co-Good Business School of American-Made Cars, and then there's the Cars.com American-Made Index. And they both have a little bit slightly different methodology. The Cars.com study, they look at the assembly location, parts content, engine origins, transmission origins, and U.S. manufacturing workforce. So there's a whole bunch of different little moving parts and combinations that they look at the whole of the vehicle, and then they're able to basically assign it a ranking from that. We were 5th last year, and this year we've dropped to 11th. Number 1 on the list was the Model Y from Tesla. And in fact, Tesla had 4 of their cars, all 4 models, in the top 10 list. So they're obviously heavy users of American-made content, and that's why they're showing up so high. Also interesting is, in terms of other domestic cars, there was the Lincoln Corsair came in at number 3, and the Jeep Cherokee came in 7th on the list. We also saw like 3 Hondas in front of us, and then, of course, the Corvette was 11th. I don't think it's really any big change for us in terms of bragging rights. And in fact, we might even see some additional changes once the Z06 comes online. I would believe the transmission will be made out of Canada at the St. Catharines plant. So there's another ranking there, that transmission origin. Where's it coming from? If it's not America, at least it's North America, right?
Right.
That's how they do their rankings based on the parts content. I think the CoGood, the other survey, actually looks at ownership and where is the management based out of and some other things. That helps us be more than like Honda, which might see management based out of Japan.
Right. Well, and the good news is Corvette had the least amount of issues in J.D. Power's initial quality survey.
Yeah, this was huge news. It made the Corvette team very happy. I saw a Facebook post by Harlan putting out that news. This is huge news. A new Corvette has the least issues of any new cars of the 2022. And they survey, I think, close to about 300,000 people. From that, they figure out surveys are almost 250 questions long. So from that, they're really able to get down and figure out how people are feeling about their new cars. The Stingray success was actually a reflection probably of Chevrolet, which ranked 3rd overall, did very well. They had 5 bow tie models in the survey winning their category. So it's all good stuff there. As far as manufacturers go, Buick was 1st on the list, Dodge was 2nd, and then Chevrolet was 3rd. So American manufacturers are really stepping up and addressing these quality things. We thought that certain other manufacturers did better, but that's not the case anymore.
That's great. Well, buddy, let's take our first break, and when we come back, we'll talk about Corvette racing and Corvette rumors here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability. And it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum and we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
VetFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25. And every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Mid-America Motorworks has been the industry leader and aftermarket supplier and manufacturer of Corvette replacement parts and accessories since 1974. We have what you need for all years and generations of Corvette. Whether you need a door panel or a seat cover for your C1 Corvette, or the latest shirt, jacket, hat, or lifestyle accessory to complement your new C8, you can get it at Mid-America Motorworks. So if you're restoring, repairing, replacing, or simply researching your Corvette, Mid-America Motorworks is the place to go. Visit our website at mamotorworks.com and shop Corvettes by generation or specific year. Or call us Monday through Saturday, toll-free at 800-500-1500 and talk to one of our Corvette experts to help you get the right part or accessory. Pursue your passion with Mid-America Motorworks.
You're listening to the Corvette Today podcast with Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com or call 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. And as always, if you want a deeper dive into any of these stories that we talk about, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this second segment, we'll talk about Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. First of all, Keith, Corvette racing gets a podium at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. That was exciting to see.
Yeah, it was our first time back in Canada since before the pandemic. We got a second place finish there from the number 3 car. Taylor and Garcia are now in second place in the GTD Pro Drivers' Championship. We're actually running over 100 points behind the number 9 Porsche 911 team, though, so it's going to be tough to catch up to them. Chevrolet has also moved into second, though, in the Manufacturers' Championship, and there's 4 races left in the season. It was a race where we were in contention. We were running second and third, and every time we got close to that number 9 Porsche, it just seemed to pull away from us, and then we got into a couple situations where some yellow flags and some restarts that kind of screwed up our strategy. But for a car that I think started 6th or 7th on the pole, was a good finish for the team.
Absolutely. And also, we have IMSA coming up at Lime Rock Park.
Yeah, the boys will be back on Saturday at Lime Rock Park in New York. This will be a good one. This is a GT-only affair, so it's just the GTD pros and the amateur cars. This should be fun. Lime Rock is a small track. I think it's only 1.5 miles, so maybe just a little bit longer than that.
Wow.
Boy, it's a short track, so they got just the GT cars on there, and it's always a lot of fun when it's just the GT cars. We actually have a chance to go for the overall race win here. It's a pretty short race, too. I think it's just a 2-hour race format, so should be pretty good.
Interesting. And we also are racing at Monza with the WEC, aren't we?
This is going to be on Sunday morning, so we just had that race. Unfortunately, we don't have the results here, but we do have the official team results up at CorvetteBlogger.com, so you can read them there.
That sounds good. Let's get into rumors now, Keith. We had 3 really juicy rumors here. We have over 50 CFT C8 Z06s that have already been built. Isn't that true?
Yeah, we went from really no news on the CTFs. The CTFs are captured test fleet cars, and generally they have what are called saleable VINs. These are VINs that do not have the EX after them. Any Corvette that was produced with that EX VIN is going to be crushed. But these other ones are saleable VINs, so they'll use them for testing, and then eventually they'll end up back in the used car pipeline. Dealers can bid on them, get a couple of CTF cars, and then sell them that way as a used car. This is pretty big news, though. We went from really no news on this to a lot. And in fact, the last official number on the CTF cars that we saw was 73. Again, good news. We know that they're driving them up in Detroit, and that we also know that team members at the Corvette assembly plant are driving their cars. In fact, Chuck Valentini, the paint manager, was just on vacation with our friend Mike Furman. They were playing golf together, and Chuck showed up in an Elkhart Lake Blue Z06 with the Z07 package. Working for GM does have some perks.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we are getting these cars out. Again, it's just great to see them. One of the cars that we had pictures of was kind of a cute story. A guy talked about how he sent the spies up to Bowling Green to check it out. Of course, the spies were his parents. They did a great job photographing the car. They even got the VIN of the car, which is how we knew that yellow Z06 in those pictures was number 55. And in fact, one of the fun things is they took a selfie of them in front of the car, too.
Cute.
Just a real fun photo shoot for somebody. And of course, the parents did a good job.
Well, and also it sounds like GM is stockpiling parts for the Z06 for customer cars, aren't they?
Yeah, our friends over at MECF, the Mid-Engine Corvette Forum, has sourced this. And in fact, the part that they said was Z06 specific, meaning it's not on the Stingray, is being produced now, is being stockpiled. You just had the podcast with the guys from Carbon Revolution. John has also been in contact with Carbon Revolution, and they've confirmed that they've been shipping wheels for the Z06 to the United States, to GM already as well. Now we have a couple different manufacturers of parts for the Z06 have confirmed that they are stockpiling and making these parts. So that's, again, it's just good news. Hopefully it'll solve the problems with some of the bigger bottlenecks and some of the other issues that we've seen on the Stingray this year. Good stuff.
It's good to hear that they're stockpiling parts and getting ready to build them, that's for sure.
We'll take whatever we can get, Steve.
Absolutely right. And also, we saw a camouflage Corvette. Now, was it a Z06 or was it an E-Ray? It was close to Yuma, Arizona, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is, again, another interesting photo. It was a camouflaged car wearing the vinyl wrap, the white and black checkerboard kind of vinyl wrap. It was spotted outside of Yuma, and the guy on the Corvette forum that took the picture thought it was the E-Ray. It was a wide-body coupe. It had no spoiler whatsoever, not even the mount sticking out of the top. It had the corner-mounted exhaust, which the Z06 is the export exhaust, but it also had the carbon fiber wheels, which you can only get the carbon fiber wheels with the Z07 package. But again, this car had no Z07 specific aero on it, no front dive planes that we could see, and again, no big spoiler on the back. It was an interesting car. Again, we are still thinking that it was probably the Z06. The wheels weren't covered on the car, and the engine hatch was actually open to be viewed, so anybody could go by and look in there and see if it was the 5.5 liter LT6 or if it was the 6.2 liter LT2. My guess is that it was probably just the Z06, and they're just continuing to do some testing out there in Yuma, which is where the GM proving ground is.
Well, they're just trying to play with us. They're just trying to fool us, Keith.
Hey, let's get in the Z06 prototype and go drive by some journalist homes. That would be nice. I'll take that.
I like that idea, too. That sounds good to me, buddy.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's take our final break, Keith, and when we come back, we'll talk about the lighter side of Corvette here on Corvette Today.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
Hey, honey, are you awake?
I am now.
I can't sleep. Since turning 50, I keep dreaming of a red door and a blue door, somehow knowing there are only choices for retirement.
Okay.
Through the red door, we outlive our money. We have to rely on our kids. We're stuck on a fixed income. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that would suck.
But through the blue door, our money outlives us. We retire on our terms. Our kids stay our kids, not our caretakers. We make work optional.
Yes, that's much better. That's what I want too. But what do we do?
We call True Wealth & Company at 913-653-8783. They specialize in helping successful people make work optional. They're our fiduciary Blue Door personal wealth managers.
Hey, where are you going? It's 3 a.m.
I can't sleep. I'm going to check out True Wealth & Company online at retirewithtrue.com. That Blue Door is going to be our retirement.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vet and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
Stretch the life of your Corvette's paint with Nova Stretch, the performance protective cover. From bugs to rock chips, Nova Stretch covers protect your C5 through C8 Corvette, utilizing stretch fabric technology and an innovative fastening system for quick installation and easy removal and storage. Made in the USA for a tailored fit, the patented design and breathable mesh protects your Corvette without rubbing or chafing the paint like traditional covers. And unlike clear film or old-time car bras, Nova Stretch provides full front-end coverage including the grille, keeping radiators and heat exchangers clean and debris-free. Visit novastretch.com and use the code CORVETTE to get 15% off your order. Protect your Corvette with NovaStretch.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
And now, back to Corvette Today with your host and my husband, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them at 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. In this third and final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. First of all, Keith, that mint green Z06 auction was a total bust, wasn't it?
Yeah, we've talked about this auction several times now and how Chevy offered this custom artwork, this non-fungible token that was also combined with a one-off real Z06 in minted green color. The auction, it required to bid using the Ethereum crypto coin. What we saw was that coin was just fluctuating wildly. At one point, it was $238,000 for the opening bid, up to $252,000 for the opening bid. Super rare. The auction house that hosted it, they had put out an urgent request, I think, on that Saturday, say, hey, we're open for another 24 hours or so, give people another shot at it. It never sold. We did reach out. We did hear back from a Chevrolet representative who told us that it was a learning experience and they're hopefully going to apply it to some future things, some future projects. But we know that the car wasn't never built, so they don't have this car out there waiting for something to do with it. It was just the idea was they were going to auction it and then build the car after that auction.
Gotcha.
We'll see what happens. Again, I still think it was a cool concept. I think just the timing ended up being horrible on it. And to show you Chevrolet isn't the only ones thinking about this, I just saw an announcement last week that Porsche is going to be doing an NFT collection as well. See, there you go. It's just not Chevrolet that wants to do this kind of stuff. And again, you look at the kind of money that traditionally been behind the crypto markets. In fact, I just saw this, Steve. One of the biggest crashes because of the crypto markets is the sales of Rolex watches have fallen significantly.
Wow.
So there you go. It's just one of these things. I think it was a cool idea. The timing on it was not in favor for Chevrolet.
It was a cool idea. It was a great color Z06. I really liked it. I wouldn't mind driving that around. That's for sure.
Well, that's the big news is hopefully that car, that color will see itself on the Corvette Stingrays and Z06s next year because it's perfect for the exotic mindset. I think people will love it.
That sounds good. We had a Florida sheriff that unveiled a police car, a C7 Z06, but I don't think he was very excited about that, was he?
Well, the car was, quote, donated, and I use the donated with air quotes, from a felon in Escambia County, which is up in Pensacola. We've seen this back in the day. They find a drug dealer, they bust him, they take his cars, the property, whatever. They sometimes will auction that off, use the funds. This car is said to be used for community engagement and outreach projects. The sheriff said that no public money was spent on it. It was done through donations to wrap the car. Users are mixed on what this will accomplish. You know, we had the DARE programs back in the day.
Right.
Scared the kids straight, showed off some cool cars, but that program ended years ago. And so it's just up to departments to do their own little things like this. You know, our users were mixed on it. Some of the interviews that we saw, people locally saying that more could be done locally just by selling the car and using those funds versus driving around and saying, hey, look, it's a Z06 police car. We'll see what happens with that. People had mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, I can understand that for sure. Also, the Federal Trade Commission is proposing new rules that target bait and switch tactics and also junk fees. I was glad to see this.
And, you know, this is probably the most significant story that we've had in this podcast, Steve, because obviously we've seen that Chevrolet and General Motors can't police their own dealers from doing all kinds of crazy stuff with the Z06 pricing, whether it's you're going to be at $50,000 over as just a market adjustment, or you have to make a significant donation to a charity just to be able to buy a car, or you buy a car and it has all these add-on fees and junk stuff on it. And that's exactly what the FTC is going after. Maybe we will actually see some relief here through the federal government, a new rule. The main text here is it's going to ban junk fees and bait and switch advertising techniques that plague consumers through the car buying experience. Of course, we've all seen dealer ads where it shows a price, you know, starting from $350 a month. Well, unless the dealer says it's a lease or it's a purchase price, that is misrepresenting what it would take to purchase that car. Another thing that they're going to go on are the add-ons and products such as nitrogen-filled tires and window tinting packages, things that we've seen specifically targeted at Corvette owners to be able to buy a car from a dealership. You spend $6,000 or $10,000 to get dealer-installed PPF protection for the paint, window tinting. A lot of this is junk fees. It does significantly impact your ability to be able to buy a car or not. The rule right now, it has been written. It is now in a public comment phase. I think that phase goes on for 2 months or so. And then from there, we'll see if that proposed rule is adopted. It might be another year before we see any significant impacts from that. But it's good news that at least that's kind of stuff's being addressed.
It would be nice to have it coordinate right when the release of the new C8 Z06 came out. That's for sure.
Well, that's for sure. But again, we have all these people on all these lists. The sales process is going to be long and hard. That's definitely for sure.
Absolutely right. Speaking of Z06s, we did see a caffeine metallic Z06, didn't we?
Yeah, this is good news again. Now we've seen all 12 regular production colors on these prototype Z06s, and we're really actually waiting for the 70th anniversary editions to come out. It bodes well. I've seen all 12 colors. This car, somebody decides to do a Z06 in caffeine, it will probably end up being one of the rarer colors because we only saw 385 Stingrays built with the color last year. And if it's anything like Zeus Bronze, the first year the color sells better than the second year of the color.
Right.
We could be seeing a decline of that 385 on the Stingray, even less than that. Should be a unique car if someone should decide to do that. We know there'll be a couple of them out there.
That's for sure. I like the Zeus Bronze. I like the caffeine metallic, buddy. They're great looking colors, and you'll get a real rare Corvette if you buy one in that color. Also, we saw the first Z06 70th anniversary spied over the fence, didn't we?
Again, a user went down to the Corvette assembly plant and it looks like they flew a drone over the shipping lanes. I often wonder about the legality of that. That would really upset me if I was General Motors, but sure enough, he did. He flew his drone over the shipping lanes. And from that picture, you can see, of course, all kinds of cars lined up with the transportation covers on them. But there's a whole bunch of cars that were just finished. Interesting, if you're looking at one of them, there's like 4 different lines of cars, single file lines. One of them is like all these cars have stripes. So they probably all came out of the stripe factory because they put the stripes on at the plant. So here's a line of all these stripes, and there's a black car in there, and it looks like it's got white seats. Well, of course, the 70th anniversaries have what is called ceramic seating, which is, again, that ceramic matrix gray kind of style, that very light, a little tinge of blue, maybe just a slight tinge. You can basically see a little bit of white in that car. And then there's a white car. It's definitely a Z06. You can see the wishbone, the spear on it. It's got the big wing on the back. And it sure enough, it looks like it's got that 70th anniversary badge on the front of the door there.
Nice.
It'd be the very first white and black car 70th anniversaries that were done. The drone shots were actually taken a couple weeks ago. It was done at the end of June was when he first posted them. So those cars could be somewhere right now. They could use them for show cars, car shows and events and other promotional activities, and of course media cars as well. Glad to see those out there and can't wait to see them on the road.
And speaking of the 70th anniversary cars, the first Stingrays were being shipped as well.
This was a surprise. My understanding is that Chevrolet used a very limited set of 70th anniversary wheels to produce a batch of cars. 2 of them ended up at our friends at Criswell Chevrolet. And our friend Mike Furman on Facebook just confirmed that he is getting the White Pearl as his personal vehicle. It's VIN number 007. It's the White Pearl version, and he did not get stripes on it. I believe he's taking or will take or has taken, I'm lost now, because he posted that last week and he was on vacation, but he's getting back. So if he hadn't taken delivery of the car by Friday, then he'll probably done so over the weekend.
Nice. That sounds good. Well, buddy, thank you so much for being on Corvette Today. Let's get some more news and headlines. We'll get back together in 2 weeks.
Sounds great, Steve. Everybody out there, if you see other Corvettes, make sure you throw up that hand, give them a wave. Keep following all of the best Corvette news and information on CorvetteBlogger.com.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit Wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com. True Wealth and Company at RetireWithTrue.com. Also, Nova Stretch Bras. Use the code Corvette Today 15 and get 15% off your total purchase at novastretch.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. Mid-America Motorworks at mamotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet, located in Kansas City.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.